cyberdogs, citizens of the internet, and beautiful humans from all over the world. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival with me, RENDOG'S. How is everybody today? Man, I am so freaking happy right now, guys. I can barely use the English language to describe it. I have had the most amazing weekend in Cologne, Germany, and I just cannot wait to tell you guys all about it in this episode. Sit back and relax. I hope you got a tasty ass beverage. I hope you got something crunchy to snack on, because we're going to be talking about some pretty amazing things. Now, in the previous episode, we were busy working on our automatic farm system. We've got a ton of work to do on this build, which we're going to be doing today, guys. So while we are cracking on that build, I'm going to be telling you about, well, probably one of the most amazing experiences that I have ever had in my life. In fact, it rates right up there with probably one of the best things that has ever happened to me. And quite a lot of awesome stuff has happened to me in my life. So to say that, guys, means quite a lot. And man, let me start from the top. Where to begin? Well, let's start way back last Monday morning, okay? It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to get up. My alarm has gone off. I've made some coffee. I've made something to eat. And who starts blasting my Skype so early in the morning when I'm still cranky? I haven't even had my coffee yet. It's freaking Iskal85. He's calling me at 7 a.m. in the morning. And I'm thinking to myself, Iskal, have you gone freaking cray? Why are you phoning me so early, man? I'm not a morning person. I don't talk to humans before 10 a.m. in the morning. But I answered the call because I thought, okay, maybe this is pretty serious. I answered the call. Iskal's on the other side. I'm like, Iskal, my brother, dude, I love you, man. But you can't be phoning me at these hours, dude. I'm cranky right now, man. What is up? What's going on? And Iskal says to me, Rendog, how would you like to go to Cologne, Germany this weekend? And I'm all like, yeah, that sounds pretty sweet. What have you got in mind? And he says, well, I've been invited to participate in the NVIDIA GTX challenge this weekend, but it's my best friend's wedding on Saturday, so I can't go. And you know what? I think that you should go in my place. Do you want to go? Now, at this point, my brain is still trying to, process the information that has just arrived inside of it, because I've gone from just making a cup of coffee to going to Cologne, Germany in about 3 seconds, and my brain is still asleep, right? So I'm like sitting there thinking, okay, let it settle in, let it settle in. And I remember in the conversation, I think Iskal expected me to be like so freaking excited and so happy, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And he was like, dude, aren't you more excited? And then about 3 minutes later, it suddenly kicked in. And I was like, dude, we're going to Cologne, Germany. This is amazing. And guys, I went to Cologne, Germany on Friday to participate in the GTX challenge as a part of the Nordic team. I was the stand-in for Iskal in the Nordic team. And let me tell you something, it was an absolutely incredible time. I'm going to tell you all about it in today's episode. Now, guys, let's have a look at what is going on over here. At the end of the last episode, we created kind of like a return route for our minecart. Let's just do a little recap of what the plan is, right? We want to hop on a minecart over here, hit this button, get taken all around this farm that is going to trigger all of these sticky pistons that are underneath. Let's actually give it a little bit of a go. For those of you guys who haven't seen it, maybe you're new to the channel, you don't know what we're up to. So check it out, right? We sit in the minecart, we hit the freaking button, boom! These pistons trigger, and those pistons are actually going to be breaking crops that are growing on top of these dirt blocks over here, and we're going to automatically collect those crops. We're going to go all the way around this ziggity zag, and then we're going to return via this sky bridge thingy. It's going to take us all the way back to the start location over there. So that is kind of the plan right now. Now, as I have been in Germany for the weekend, I haven't been able to work much on this project, and I am so freaking excited to be back. I can't wait to get cracking on this. But what I realized on the flight back home from Germany is that we have a ridiculous amount of work to do here, guys. And basically, in the last live stream that we did, I spent about 2 hours trying to get more slimes that I can make more sticky pistons, but I died and lost a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, it usually happens in the stream. So we're kind of back at square one. I've just been farming some slimes in the swamp, managed to pick up 49 slimes, which is another 49 sticky pistons, but we're going to need quite a few more sticky pistons than that. Now, in the meantime, what I do want to try and do is work out the actual borders of the building itself. What I'm trying to do here is make a sort of Victorian greenhouse type effect, and what I'm thinking is we probably need to push the zigzags in by a couple of blocks, because let me try and explain myself here, right? I want this to be a building within a building. Now, what in the jazz am I talking about over there? Well, for those of you guys who remember the greenhouse build that I made for my Motherboard a couple of years back, what I did was I created a greenhouse building and then I surrounded it by kind of like a roof structure. So it ended up being a building within a building, and I really, really love that effect. So what I'm going to try and do is sort of imitate that by doing something like so, right? I'm smelting up all of that glass in the furnace room right now because I want to be able to have enough glass to create the inner building. I want the inner building of the greenhouse to be completely made out of glass. I want the walls to be sort of made out of glass and maybe cobblestone walls, and the outside of the building to also potentially be made out of glass, but we'll have to experiment on that when we get there. For now, this is the sort of circumference of, this is going to be the outside of the building like this, right? And I think we'll probably go one more block in, because the wall of the inside of the greenhouse is going to be over here. Okay, so sweet. That gives us a good idea of how we're going to be setting up the walls for our greenhouse. I'm going to sort of repeat the same thing on the other sides of it too. Looks like we've already done it on this side, so that's pretty sweet. Now, guys, let's talk about Cologne, Germany. Damn. Right, well, I flew out to the NVIDIA GTX challenge. Let me explain firstly what it was. Basically, it was a competition for gamers. It was 7 countries competing in it, and what we were doing was playing a variety of different games over an entire day. We actually started at 11 o'clock in the morning and ended at midnight, and all we did was play games the whole day. It was absolutely insane, man. It was amazing, and we played a whole bunch of different games, a ridiculous variety of games. Let's just go over what we played. We played Counter-Strike Go, we played Dota 2, we played Goat Sim, Project Cars, Shovel Knight, and Chivalry. Those are the games that we played, so it was absolutely crazy. Now, the people that were at the event, oh man, I'm gonna tell you about the people at the event. Gonna blow your mind, man. We had such amazing human beings at this event, and I made some incredible new friends. One of the things I'm most happy about the event actually was the people that I met, because it was absolutely amazing actually to meet new people and to make new friends, and in such a short space of time also. I landed in Düsseldorf on Friday at about 10 in the morning German time. I had to get one of the first flights from Heathrow to get there. NVIDIA put me on a super early flight, which I was a little bit salty about because, as I was explaining, I'm not really a morning person, but who am I to complain, right? It was a free flight to Cologne, so I'm not going to complain at all. I arrived at Düsseldorf, and we were supposed to get collected by an NVIDIA an NVIDIA shuttle, and taken to the event place and taken to our hotel and whatnot. But when I got there, I didn't see a shuttle anywhere, man. I was completely alone. The email said that there would be someone holding up an NVIDIA sign, so I was looking all over the place, didn't see any NVIDIA signs anywhere. So, I thought, okay, maybe he's taking his time to get here. Maybe the driver got waylaid by enemies on the way. He's got to deal with some creepers or mobs that, jumped out of his car on his way to the airport. And I went to the shop and, bought myself some toothpaste and, some things that I would need for the night. I got some shampoo and whatnot. And just taking my time, just relaxing, man. I had a cup of coffee at a little coffee shop thing. And sort of an hour went by, and I still didn't see where this person was to come and collect me. And I was thinking to myself, okay, things are getting a little bit serious now. Maybe the guys have forgotten about old RENDOG'S and left him at the airport, and I'm going to be stuck here sleeping in the airport for the weekend. And so I phoned my rep. the NVIDIA rep, whose name is Matthias, an absolute legend of a man. And I said to him, dude, I'm at the airport, man. No one's come to collect me. What is going on here, man? You can't leave the RENDOG'S all alone. Just give me an address or something and I'll take a cab and get to where I need to go. And he was like, no, man, everyone is there already. They're waiting for your ass. And I was like, oh, no. Have I just been holding up a whole bunch of YouTubers and Twitchers at the airport, faffing around, buying toothpaste and having coffee and stuff? Man, I felt so freaking bad. I went out to the car park, and yes, there before me stood about 12 YouTubers and Twitchers, all waiting for my ass. They did not look freaking happy. Now, let me give you a little breakdown of the people that I can remember that were there. There were a ton of people there. The whole French team was there. The whole Polish team was there. A whole bunch of Twitchers were there. The UK team was there. And the UK team was the first team that I started talking to, of course, because we could communicate with each other in English. And the UK team was made up of some seriously amazing Twitchers that included Spamfish, LT Zonda, and Give Me a Name X. Man, if you guys don't know those guys on Twitch, you have been living under a rock or something, man. They are absolutely amazing Twitchers. In fact, Spamfish told me that one of the emoticons in Twitch is actually designed after his very face, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Absolutely blew my mind that I was hanging out with such huge, massive Twitchers, and it suddenly made me realize, okay, this is actually quite serious business that's going on over here. Now, one of the most awesome things about the whole thing, actually for me anyway, was that when I met these folks at the airport, I didn't know who they were. Of course, I recognized their voices, but I didn't really recognize their faces at all. You know, I hadn't watched some of the Twitchers or some of the YouTubers, and so for me, they were just normal gamers, just like myself, right? All gathering in Cologne to have some fun at an event. And I have had absolutely no idea, you know, how big or how popular they were or whatever. And the most amazing thing is that none of that actually mattered at all. Everyone was so freaking chilled out. Everyone was so relaxed. In fact, when we got to the airport on Friday, the first thing that I did was I went with the UK team, and we also went with Kuro Lily from the Italian team, who's another streamer, and we all went into the center of Cologne just to go see the sights, man. We went and had a look at the amazing cathedral that's there, and we ate some German sausage, because when in Cologne, eat some German sausage, am I right? And we just basically hung out like mates, man. And we became actually very, very good friends within the course of just a few hours, and I'm proud and happy to say now that these people are now my friends, and you know, it's so freaking awesome. Now, I was at the hotel by myself, waiting for my team to arrive. Now, my team was the Nordic team, and as I was mentioning earlier in the video, I was standing in for Isco, who couldn't make it to the event. Now, the people in my team, I ended up becoming amazing friends with, and I feel so privileged to have met these folks, because they were just the most incredible team that anyone could ask to be in. The camaraderie between us was absolutely amazing. The team spirit between us was, they felt something really special going on there, man, and we did extremely well. For those of you guys who don't know, we actually came third. We were meant to come first. We should have come first, but some things happened, and the results got changed in the end. I'll tell you guys a little bit about that a little bit later, but I just want to carry on with my story while I got to freshen my freaking brain here, man. Now, who was on my team? I hear you guys asking. Well, man, I was extremely privileged to be on a team with iMandazel and Proxy Fox from Twitch. Proxy Fox is a MOBA specialist on Twitch, and iMandazel is a CSGO player, and of course, for those of you guys who know, an old member of Minecraft, one of the original early members of Minecraft. So for me, an absolute, well, I can only describe it as hanging out with some of the most awesome people that I think that I could have ever been in a team with, right? I used to, I've been watching I'm Anderzel for a very, very long time. In fact, I even watch his CSGO videos to put myself to sleep sometimes. I find his voice quite relaxing and he actually puts me to sleep. So suddenly to be on a team with I'm Anderzel is absolutely amazing. And of course, being on a team with ProxyFox, he's an extremely big Twitcher, an extremely big League of Legends player, was also just amazing. You know, I mean, you're talking about peeps who are absolutely amazing at what they do, extremely talented at what they do. And there's old Dog, just chilling with these peeps. Now, we were thrown together as a team. We didn't know each other at all. And of course, we had actually spent a little bit of time practicing before the event. We sort of got in touch on Skype, and we spent a few hours practicing CSGO and a few hours practicing Dota 2 also. So we kind of knew each other from the few hours that we'd been jamming together. And even from those jam sessions that we had together, we felt like there was something special going on, right? Like things. We were going to be a good team. We weren't going to fall out. We weren't going to fight with each other. We didn't clash with each other. Luckily, all of us, Proxy, Anders, and myself, we're all pretty chilled people, really relaxed. I mean, competitive, but not like overly competitive. There was no rage going on and so on. It was a really good time. And of course, Anders is an extremely good CSGO player, and I was absolutely terrible. Wow, I mean, compared to his level of CS, I was absolutely awful. But Anders never once lost his temper with me. He was an absolutely amazing leader, and he led ProxyFox and I to a very, very, very good result in the CSGO rounds. I think we only lost 2 out of our 7 rounds, and we won very convincingly all of the our remaining 5 rounds. So we did extremely well in that event. Now in Dota, we absolutely annihilated the competition in Dota. It was crazy. We basically got all the points out of the entire Dota section of the event, and in a way, it was a little bit unfair on the people participating, because literally none of the other countries got a single point from the Dota round, and we took the maximum points from the event, which basically put us so far ahead of the competition that it would have been impossible for the guys to beat us in the final game. The final game was Project Cars. It was a racing game that we had to do, and if we had got full points for the Dota round, we would have just there would have been no sort of race to the finish, so to speak. So the organizers decided to halve our Dota 2 points, so that it would just be a little bit closer in the end. It would be a little bit more exciting in the end, instead of one team just dominating, because we did extremely well in the CSGO rounds. We got almost maximum points there, and of course we got max points in the Dota round, and that put Team Nordic at the very top of the leaderboard, which was amazing. But they changed the scores, and it literally came down to the last race, and unfortunately we didn't manage to get enough points in the final race to secure the first place. Instead, we got the 3rd place in the competition, which is also freaking amazing. Like for me, even just coming 3rd was awesome. Like I was so freaking stoked just to be able to come 3rd. I felt like we as a team worked really, really well together, and we achieved a really, really good result, I think. And in our hearts, we know that we came 1st, if you know what I mean. But on the scoreboard, we came 3rd, but in our hearts, we will forever have won the competition. But don't tell anyone, okay? But yeah, guys, it was absolutely awesome. Anders arrived on Friday night, I believe. Yes, he did. He arrived on Friday night. I was about to go to bed, okay? I'd been hanging out with, as I was saying, hanging out with the UK team and with Kuro from the Italian team. And I was ready to go to bed, and I suddenly saw on Twitter that Doc M had arrived. Doc M and Tweedy, who's another amazing Counter-Strike player, had arrived in the hotel, and they were in the bar having a nice, refreshing beverage. And I thought to myself, you know what? We're in Cologne. even though it's midnight, even though we're supposed to be gaming tomorrow, I'm going to just go down and say hello to my teammates, say hello to Tweede and to some of the other German teams that are hanging out there, and, just have a tasty, refreshing beverage with my new teammate, and then we'll take it from there. So I went down into the hotel bar, and I found Anders there. And I found Doc M there, and we just chilled, man. We just had a couple of beers, a couple of tasty beverages, and we just spoke about the event and what was going to come up and what we were most excited about. And it was a really, really awesome time, man. Absolutely awesome time. We went to bed a little bit late on Friday night, unfortunately, but we were excited to be there, man. The vibes were really good. Like, we were just chatting, getting along really nicely. It was really cool. But we went to bed at sort of 1, 2-ish in the morning, I suppose, something like that. And we woke up nice and bright and early on Saturday to head to the ESL1 studio to participate in the GTX challenge. And we had our shirts on. I met Anders and Proxy Fox for breakfast in the hotel room. We got some eggs and bacon in us, got ourselves ready for a freaking entire day of gaming, already talking about our strategies in CSGO, talking about our strategies in Dota, where we were going to lose points, where we were going to gain points, what teams we were worried about, what teams we thought were going to do really well against us, we then took a taxi to the ESL1 studio, got all set up, and man, it was absolutely ridiculously awesome, guys. The ESL1 studio is just amazing. Now, the second, of course, my mind was completely blown the moment that I met Anders, Proxy, and Doc M, and of course meeting all the other amazing Twitchers and meeting Tweede and all the other teams. My mind was already freaking completely blown by all of the amazing content producers that I'd met at the event so far. But when I got to the ESL1 studio, who's sitting there in the commentator booth? None other than the very awesome, very amazing Toby1, who is a Dota 2 commentator and my favorite Dota 2 commentator. Of all the Dota 2 commentators, he's my absolute favorite. So I was fangirling like crazy, man. I was like, oh, baby. Toby1 is in the house. And there was another one of, another fangirl moment arrived a few minutes later when Zoe from Join Dota also arrived. She was the presenter for the day. And I'm a big fangirl of Zoe too. So it was crazy. Everywhere I looked were these people that I looked up to, these people that I respected so much in the YouTube and Twitch communities. And I just couldn't believe that I was in the same room, let alone playing games with these fine people, these fine artists from Twitch and YouTube. And it was just, it really did blow my mind. It's actually taken a couple of days for it all to settle into my brain exactly what transpired. But slowly but surely, I'm slowly coming to realize how freaking awesome the weekend was. Now, the event went really well. As I was saying, it was extremely tough. We didn't stop playing for like 13 hours straight, man. It was absolutely crazy. We just absolutely smashed it all day long. Game after game after game. Got some food in when we could, drank as much water as we could, drank way too much Red Bull for anyone's liking, and got the event done. And it turned out really awesome. Even though there was a little bit of controversy with the Dota 2 points, and there was a little bit of controversy with some exploitation going on in Goat Sim, if that's even possible to exploit in Goat Sim. Even though all of that sort of stuff was happening, no one, all of the teams in the end, we were all friends, we all shook hands, we all hugged each other, and we all had an amazing time together. The sort of end tournament result was really, really awesome. Everybody was really happy about what happened, and there was no salt. At the end of the day, all of the salt got left behind in the moments when they happened, and that was really awesome. It was one of the things I really loved about that tournament, actually. So the tournament ended at about 12 o'clock at night, probably closer to sort of 1 a.m. in the morning, and man, I was knackered, as we say in England. I was absolutely destroyed, ready for bed, ready to go to sleep, and to sleep as like a freaking undead zombie, man. It was crazy how tired I was. But I went back to my hotel room, I had a shower, and basically NVIDIA had booked out a VIP section of a club in the middle of Cologne for us to go and hang out at. And we were supposed to go there at like 9 in the afternoon. 9 in the evening. But the event went a little bit longer, so we ended up only getting to the club at about 1:30 in the morning. And I was going to go to bed, I must say. I was very, very tired. I wasn't really in the mood to go to a club with like super loud music and all of that stuff. You know, I'm not much of like a clubber, like party type of person. So I was like, but you know what I thought? I thought to myself, you know what? We should just do it, man. You know, we got nothing better to do. I mean, you know, sleep is like, meh, we can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep on the airplane. Let's just do it. I saw a tweet from Doc M saying, where are you guys? Come and join us in the club. What is going on with you? Don't be freaking grandparents. Come and party with us in the club, you bastards, you lazy bastards. So I went to the club, and as I got into the VIP room, there was most of the people at the event. There was Doc M, there was Tweede, the German team, the Polish team, the Italian team, the Spanish, and they were all there, man. They were all there, and of course all of the NVIDIA guys were there too. And there were a whole bunch of tasty beverages for us to enjoy, and we did enjoy ourselves something fierce, my friends, let me tell you. We enjoyed ourselves all the way till about 7 o'clock in the morning. In fact, I remember stumbling out of the club with Doc M on my shoulders, trying to find a taxi to get ourselves home. We were so tired, so knackered. We'd enjoyed ourselves so much that we were struggling to keep our eyes open. And we sort of just stumbled out of the club. The NVIDIA guys stayed with us the whole night also. By the end of the night, it was just Doc M, myself, and two or three NVIDIA reps that were with us, and we made our way back to the hotel, content, hurting quite badly, but very content and very, very happy. And we all made our separate ways then, and made our ways back to our countries and made our ways back home. But I tell you something, my friends, I was just so sad when the whole thing was over. I really was. I was gutted, man. I was like, it went so quick, you know. It just absolutely flew. Before I could even blink, the event was over and I was back on a plane all the way back to England. And all of my new friends that I'd made, slowly but surely, you know, had gone their own ways. Proxy had gone back to Norway. Anders had gone back to Sweden. Doc M had gone back to Germany. Tweede had gone back to Germany. Well, not back to Germany. They live there, so they'd just gone back home. The Italians had gone back. The Spanish had gone back. I got to come home, though, with the UK team, which was really cool. So I got to hang out with Spamfish, Zonda, and Give Me a Name Again, which was sweet. Made the time pass a little bit faster. You know, because it's a long-ass trip, man. Even though the flight is only 50 minutes, it takes forever to wait in the airport. You're waiting for your flight, you know, you're standing there for hours on end. So we were just sort of hanging out together, occupying each other's time, making the time go by, which was really, really awesome. And before I knew it, I was back in my flat in London, and here we are back again, playing Minecraft together. Wow, did that freaking go absolutely so fast. But guys, I had such an incredible time. I feel so absolutely privileged and humbled to be able to have been at an event like that. I honestly can tell you that not in my wildest imagination did I ever think that I would end up in an event like that with the people that I met there. And you know, I can't thank Iskal enough for giving me the opportunity to do it. You know, he very graciously gave me his spot. He gave me his position in the tournament to go and do that. And of course, it would never have happened without you guys either, because you know, you guys have made this channel. You guys have made Rendog. Without you, there would be no Rendog. There would be no YouTube channel. There would be nothing to represent at an event like that. So, you know, I can't thank you guys enough for, as always, for all of the support that you've given me over the years. I would never have been able to enjoy such an immense and epic experience without you guys. So, yeah, man, I'm feeling a little bit teary right now, actually, just thinking about it. One of the best weekends of my life, a weekend that I will not soon forget, I can tell you that much. It's going to go down in the memory banks for a very, very long time. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my new friends that I made at this event. And thank you so much for putting up with my, no doubt, ridiculous amount of talking. For those of you guys who know me, you guys know that I talk a lot. So thanks so much for putting up with my antics, all of you guys. And a huge thanks to my team, Proxy and Anders. You guys were absolutely amazing. I couldn't have wished for a better team to play with. You guys were incredible, man. It was just an absolute honor and a privilege to play with you guys. So it was amazing. And that, guys, is the end of my GTX challenge story. But it doesn't end there, my friends, because I got some good news for you. Because we came third in the competition, I get to give away a beautiful gaming screen to one of you cyberdogs out there. I'm going to be posting more information about that on my channel in the next couple of days. But one of you guys is going to walk away with a professional pro gamer screen by the end of this whole thing. All courtesy of NVIDIA, of course. And of course, it's our prize for coming third in the challenge, baby. So one of you is going to become one very happy and one very lucky cyberdog in the very near future. Keep your eyeballs on the channel, guys, for all of the information. Now, friends, we have done quite a lot of work to this thing while I've been rambling on about the GTX challenge. It's looking awesome, isn't it? It's slowly starting to come together. Now, what I do need to do still is just sort out all of these lanes. I need to make sure that all of these lanes have been prepared correctly, that they are all working the way that they should. And of course, I still need to go grind myself some more slime. I need a ton of slime still to be able to sort this build out. But it's coming on nicely, my friends. In the next episode, we're going to crack on with this sucker, see if we can do a bunch of progress on it. But for now, my friends, I hope you enjoyed my GTX challenge review or trip down memory lane. And I've immortalized those memories now on the internet forever. I'll never forget that weekend. It was incredible. Thanks to everybody involved. And man, can't wait to see you guys in the next episode.